Okay, what's up, everybody? We are back with some more Invokers. Hope you guys are having a good day today. Um, what is the agenda for today? This is currently, I guess, what? I think in a few hours, technically, it's going to be the end of day 6. So we'll be going into day 7 with today's reset. Basically, same thing we normally do, just grinding, answering any questions any of you guys may have up until this point, because I know the beginner process is ever evolving as you are trying to figure out what you have, what works, what makes sense. Because, like, for example, my account, it's been the same thing the whole time, whereas some of you guys may have gotten lucky. Somebody's probably running around as a brand new player with like 3 5 stars because I've seen it in the chat. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Really going to be trying to clean up our hard mode. I think I do have a little bit of a luxury edge because I kind of know what missions are in each page. So there's kind of that, or at least I'm always aware of each mission page. So yeah, it's gonna ask you every single time to go back to normal and make it basically 20 stars, stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna try to clean that up some. But let me see real quick. I don't know if I want to. I need to actually charge this because I was going to use a controller today, but I don't think I am. Let's see. Boom. Do that. All right. So let's see here. What are we doing on this account right now? I've been like bouncing around between like 5 different things all day. All right. So we're going to still full sending Alyssa is one of my main units for right now. RTU, I've been doing this just for the video sake, but like RTU is usable. Like he's not like trash. He's absolutely usable. Furlick has been furlicking, that's for sure. He's definitely been doing his thing, keeping the team going. All right, so I think we're gonna just go ahead and start working on chapter 6, and then we'll go back. Let's do that. I'm trying to think. I think wind is weak here, so yeah, we can't bring Lumi. So it is what it is when it comes to that. Lumi can't go. All right, let's see. I guess I'll try. I'll see how hard they're hitting me. I'll try to get the chest at the same time. I gotta do a update video too for the main account because I'm at 160 crowns, so I'm almost done. Why'd you transform? It's like one enemy left. Yo, what's good, Lonzo? How you doing, bro? There's like one enemy left, man. It's just like, nope, transforming today. What's my Celissa? Oh, you're talking about my Celissa? She's on a right now a vampire and health build as of the moment, but it's damage focused stats. Oh my, yeah, they're getting eaten up here. Yeah, they're getting eaten up. They're getting eaten up. Yeah, so this looks like it's gonna be being my tank. I might actually, what I do need to do, I probably should have mentioned that in the video. I gotta level up my Titans some. Yeah, I absolutely have to level my Titans. You said tank build? Nah, she's not built like a tank, actually. It's just bulk from the set. And then it's really a little bit too. It's not even a lot. Really, ideally, you get more when you do the full 5. Yeah, I'm gonna die here just from touching me. My AoE's not coming back fast enough. Yeah, you get the you get more bulk from that, which is kind of the reason why I'm not dead yet. Because in reality, I should be gone. But you'll start to notice that the deeper you get into the game, your characters are just fainting. And like, of course, the better your stats get, the easier it is to manage it. But in the earlier phases, you don't have as much stat allocation to get from certain areas. So you just got to kind of like work what you got. So like, I think really the issue there was just really I feel like it's my Titans more than anything. Because as soon as I transformed, nothing happened. You said you get you said you're getting kicked. You're behind kicked on hard three. Um, I mean, to be fair, right? What team are you running right now? Because that's the bigger question. It's like what team are you running? Because the other thing is too is I still got awakenings. Like there's still more stat value that I just am just not using right now. That would make a big difference in like survivability stuff like that. But it's because like I always try to stick to the progress quest, but in some ways you do have to kind of with certain things, especially when it comes to your core, you do got to kind of step outside of that so they're not like getting spanked all day. Because like for example, let's see, 21. Like my main account, I think I'm on like page like 30 something, like 30 32 on my main. So it does start to kind of slow a little, but it's not crazy. This is still pretty early stuff. Um, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm actually out of the target zone for awakening. Oh, nope, it's still here. Yeah, so page 23 is where they hit you again with it. 21 has it too. So I'm just always paying attention to that because like it takes time to actually farm up those materials. Like you're just not gonna like okay, so the reason why that just is like a thing, and that's why I wait if I can, is because you gotta farm. If you look at any character's kit, and this is why like people that's like, hey, I want like 5 legendaries. I'm like, well, good luck doing their awakenings because you need the essence for their attribute, the regular standard general essence. You need the rune for them. Then, depending on the node, you'll need the crest. And then on other nodes, if you're looking at like, let me see, there's usually one where you'll need Titan EXP. Let me see, did I do one? Like, okay, yeah, this is a perfect example. So like this one right here, you need Titan EXP. So yeah, it's material you need, and the higher the rarity, the more of that material you need, even if it is like the same star. So that's kind of another thing. You said my gear cheats. Give me a sec. So I'm running a dungeon. All right, yeah. Just let me know when you finish, because I'll be able to help you with getting your getting your gear on track, I guess. Because like that's the thing. Like gear is not like you're not trying to big brain your gear so early. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be gear that you change. So it's not even that the gear is just bad. It's just that certain values aren't gonna scale how you want them to. Not until you got more investment in your characters. That's just kind of how it goes. And then when you really think about it, like Insane, the first difficulty is not that far. So, that's where you'll really start to see, those pieces start to drop too, where you'll be able to like kind of put a little bit more TLC into them, be intentional, whether you're aiming for like monogen and accuracy and stuff like that. So you got Ballas, Scion, Celissa, Fulric. Okay, so if you're running Fulric, I mean, easy build on him. Just emphasize HP, dude. Like HP, he should be on a 5-piece HP. Like that's just is what it is. I just went straight HP. Or these are broken. I forgot about this, but I need to put these on HP to be honest, because he doesn't need these. He just needs to be bulky so he can heal. That's it. Bullis is kind of the same idea. You just put him on 5 bonus HP. Defense is nice for him because he is more in the forefront, so it does help a little bit, but it's kind of the same idea, right? Like I just got full HP on him. Defense from the bonus could put a defense piece on him. It's like you can kind of mix it a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of, well, no. So what you're looking at with Fulric is this, right? So he cast a HP shield, max HP. Shield is based off of max HP. So I don't care about him. Like, okay, let's say you want to build him damage. You're going to have a healer fainting. You're going to be over there passed out. Like, So the other thing is too is that with HP, it's just it's you have a bigger pool for enemies to hit into. Defense reduces the damage that your HP pool is taking, but the thing is that this early you don't have a ton of you don't have like that much HP, and you're in much longer fights too. So you want to have way more HP, and then obviously some form of sustain. You said my HP gear on him has attack. Yeah, I would swap that to more bulk. You don't really care for him to be doing damage, like honestly, right now. He could definitely do a little bit of damage though. It's not like he can't, but I think in like again, this early, just what gear you have allotted, just give him the bulk. Because if you could have like your Solissa, and who else did you say you were running? You say you were running Scion, so you're running this guy, right? Is this the Scion? Because there's like 3 Scions in the game. You got Alexku, and you also have Claris. You have there's a few characters that kind of look like Scion. Alexku. Okay, so that's the one that you're running. He's good for damage. He's pretty good. I'm trying to think though. What difficulty did you say you were on? Because you will need to make you will need a alternate damage dealer outside of your main damage dealer, which is your starter. So like for me, that was my Humi, because you're gonna run into a difficulty where they're just at a disadvantage and they're not gonna deal as much and they're gonna take more damage. So that's kind of that. You said hard 3 crit gear. To be okay, I'm gonna have you answer your own question. What's your crit rate at? That'll tell you all you need to know on if it's worth building him on crit at the moment. And if you're not using a crit buffer, which your team doesn't have a crit buffer, yeah, you're not hitting that crit threshold for him to be consistent with critting. So you're better off just giving him more attack. Yeah, give him more attack. Yeah, this like because you got to think about that too. No crit glove. Yeah, so yeah, give him more attack. You just give him more attack. I promise you, give him more attack. Bulk up your tank and your support, and you should be okay. Because where am I at in hard? I'm on 6, so I'm literally 3 chapters ahead of you. Chapter 3 with that team should not be that hard. And really your build is mixture. It's going to be a mix of 3 and 4 star gear. So I'm not using any 5-star gear or anything like that. And the only unit I have skilled up is my starter. So between that and awakenings, like the awakenings only are going up to literally on my 4-star, it's only 1 and my tank is 1. So in reality, I could make them bulkier if I decide to I probably should do that. It'll make them bulkier if I go to the next star, because that's a ton of base stat. Like when you start talking about an extra 25% HP, 5% more defense, 5% attack. Yeah, that does make a difference. It does make a difference. So I'm probably going to do that myself as of the moment. And actually it would just make my tank a little bit tankier. Which one do we need? We need fire, so we'll just go get that. And that's the other thing too. I probably should mention that in the video. Like while you have the buffs active, you just need to take advantage of it. This is the first time I'm actively having to do anything for Bullis, because I was getting it from the mission rewards. But yeah, we'll climb this real quick. Let's see. But yeah, it's a little bit tedious in the beginning, but like once you get past this part of the process, it's pretty streamlined, really. And then you can get all fancy. You wanna run one of those really OP builds. I mean, I take a little time to farm it, but you can. Yes, go for attack. Yeah, go for attack. Okay. Yeah, and even with that, the crit rate set, if you're finding where he's dying too much, put him on HP with attack rolled on it, because that'll just help you. I'm telling you, that'll help you a lot. Because some stages, even like I'd squeeze by him just simply because I had enough HP not to die. Not really so much because I was OP or anything like that. It was just like I had just enough HP. And then of course, then you still have some of that damage too. Yo, what's good, Kirito? How you doing, fam? What's up? Is that Collier? Am I saying that correct? Or is it Cooler? Cooler? Wait, is it Cooler? How did I say it? You said I see you picked up Hubie. She's still relevant. Yeah, she is. Yeah, I mean she's also free too. So like that's the other thing too. Like with characters that you can get for free, certain ones for sure offer a little bit more value. But yeah, Humi is still really good. Like her kit is really nice for what it does. Attack break, defense break. I don't really got too many options for that other than my Celissa, but I'm not building her for... I'm building her a little bit more to just do outright damage. Like, I'm not going to sacrifice attack for accuracy on her. I'd rather it be like somebody else doing it and then just have her more built on or more focused on damage. You could do it, but that's just kind of how I'm running it right now. You say, yeah, I can't change my name for some reason. It's Waffles. Oh, that's good, Waffles. I was like, hey, somebody new. No, it was good, brother. Hey, guys, if you see Waffles in the Discord, make sure you say hello. Waffles is like, he's a machine. He's helping everybody all the time. I'm like, dude, I don't think I see Waffles take a break, you know? But yeah, so that's the other thing too. Yo, Waffles. We gotta talk, dude, because yo, some of these starters, I've been messing around with some of these starters in endgame, like real endgame, and I'm like, yo, like, yeah. I'm like, dude, he said Waffle. Yeah, dude, like, you can do some stuff. So I already did a start with Danos. This start is with Celissa. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do on global launch though. I might try to do, I'm gonna maybe cut against the grain and I might do Malgar. Because I feel like Malgar gets I don't think that I don't want to say he's not bad, but I don't think he's as bad. I still got to mess around with him. But I'm just like, dude, like, is he just that bad? Like, he's not usable. Like, he just doesn't have no damage or something. Like, I get it. He has, like, zero utility when it comes to, like, defense breaks and all that other stuff. But I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, you put him with somebody that gives him, like, that little opening. He might go crazy with some combo attack or something, or combo speed. That's the thing, though, Lonzo. It's really hard to like the way a character feels from the beginning to end game, like, is just totally different. Like, I had to build my Danos up for what's it called, for Tower, and dude, Danos, like, I got the 90 with him as my main damage dealer. And I had Kalis, she was there, but Danos was still doing more damage collectively just because of all the grouping and stuff, that hits that he was doing and stuff like that. So it was like, even with my account, I was just like, okay, you kind of hit this wall where you kind of make certain decisions according to two things. You can say, I'm going to wait until RNG just magically decides to give me a specific thing, or you can just build something and actually start to push it. Me personally, I just am like, well, how long are you gonna wait? Because like that wait could be, especially when we're talking about like the light and dark tower. I mean, dude, you ain't getting LD summons like every day like you are with some of the other summons. Like that's like one of those things where you got to kind of pick your battles on what you're going to wait on and what you're not. So when I was kind of looking at it, I mean, like even people use like Belmore as their tank and stuff like that for the Dark Tower even. Yeah, the rares I think are still really really good just in general. You said if you remember See Me, he left Selena over the rest. Yes, See Me did. Actually, and I'm glad you brought See Me up. I have to message See Me and check up on him because I haven't heard from him in a while. But See Me was definitely a avid Celissa lover. I was like, I think in the beginning, maybe because the phase of the game that I came in at, I was like, dude, I gotta get Salanth. And then when those adjustments happened to those those debuffs, I was like, I need something else. So I was like, now I'm a Dano stan. I think so. I think like I definitely am. And like even really before I started like really pumping out more content, I was like, dude, I actually really just think Danos is fun. But he be doing stuff too. He's really good. So I tried to run him, but no healer. So his RNG was, yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. Like with this game, like having like certain things depending on the content is important. Once your team gets developed to a certain point, you can, do certain things outside of that structure. Another thing that ends up being really important too is like how you use your Titan, like both in PvP and PvE. Because, excuse me, I thought like for example, I had got like a really bad, not even bad. I didn't think it was the best at first because I was like, this legendary Titan. Which one did I get? It was what's the name of it? I know it's a freeborn one. Myrmidere. I got Myrmidere, right? And I was like, okay, Myrmidere is cool. He got defense break, speed down. He got this pull. I was like, he's cool, right? But I kept giving him to, I was equipping him to my Sebastian, for example, just because I was putting him with a 5-star. I was like, oh, 5-star Titan with a 5-star character. And then the other day, I was like, thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. I never really read what this Titan's bound skill is. Like, what does he do when you when you equip him? So I read it, and this dude gives you accuracy. I'm like, why am I equipping this to Sebastian? So I like immediately swapped him and gave him to my Zelasi. And my Zelasi now, like in end game now, he doesn't miss anything. But that one thing was like game changing. Was just not. I don't have like him all skilled up. All his skills are at level 1. His bound skills at level 1. But that extra, I think he gives in boss fights. He gives 98 more accuracy, dude. That's a lot of accuracy for you to not have. So like little things like that, the bound effect that you're getting, that's why I mentioned, like I said, I was like, I gotta check my Titans, because you might have a Titan that's giving you let's say more HP, but you're looking for more damage. That's why like the reading those bound effects are so important, because that also is something that helps scale your invoker. So yeah, the Titan comes out and does really cool stuff, but there's a rhyme and a reason basically as to why you're equipping them. And the same thing with PvP, like in high elo PvP, dudes ain't just running around with full team legendary Titan layouts. They got rares like super invested on their teams, like they're not running around with just legendaries, because it's like, does this Titan make sense to use for my synergy? Not, is this Titan legendary and are they the same faction? Like I said, it's the same point I was making with like Thao and the mythical Titan. It's like, yeah, you could equip them with it, but it's like, that's kind of like missed damage opportunity there. It's good, but you could definitely get more damage from another Titan at that point if that's what you're really looking to have them do. So yeah, that's the thing. You said, see me did a lot of rerolls for free to play account, but he kept on getting Duska and Virtuous on his tunes. It made me fume. Yeah, bro. Yeah, see me's like accounts were pretty insane. I will say, that's why I was like, well, I'm like, where's see me at? That's why I gotta check him on it because he was even doing a lot of infographics too. And I would say in terms of like I actually learned quite a bit when I first started from him, and like what characters you could really like push the limits on. He easily had like the most well-rounded content for free to play pushing, like period, like and just informative. So yeah, you know me, I'm not the type to take credit for anything. I think see me, he helped me a lot in the beginning. You helped me a lot. Everybody kind of helped me, and then now I just kind of know more, so it's easier. But like, yeah, that was like one thing he was doing extremely well. I think I was like now I'm on like my third or fourth account. He was already on like his like seventh account or something. Like I was like Jesus, I was like this dude, and full sin free to play progressions too. Like I was like yeah, that's next level. So I'm gonna be doing that with this account because I'm definitely gonna push this one into the global release and just have it consistent. And then I think I'm probably gonna start maybe one more free to play series for global launch. Unless in between there's like some really big like astronomic change or shift, I'm just gonna keep it like that. Because I know once global launch comes, there's gonna be a new massive wave of people coming in that's like, hey, how do you play? So yeah, definitely want to make sure people are good. So okay, I think that helped there. At least should have gave me a little bit to finish this off. And yeah, we're good. Okay, so that there, and this will give me more bulk with him. I think we can go to yep. So yeah, like this for example, like that extra 15% HP defense and attack. That does help. That absolutely does help. It's stat you didn't have. And then the rest of the nodes too. Let's do that one. I should probably wait. We'll do this one because we have enough of it. All right. And yeah, I gotta actually look at that stage too because I got absolutely swept. Oh, go back. You said, what does instinct do? Instinct actually affects your AI and how it performs in auto primarily. You'll notice that like whenever an enemy is about to hit you, the words instinct will pop up. The AI at that point makes a conscious decision to move out of the radius of attacks. That's really what you'll typically see what instinct is doing. It's basically protecting you from taking unnecessary damage. The problem with instinct though sometimes is that sometimes it's like DPS is like one of those things where you have to think about like DPS isn't always this like active thing happening if you're constantly not hitting, right? So like instinct can make it to where if it's really high, you're just never standing in radiuses of anything, which some bosses are constantly spamming like a lot. So your character ends up just kind of standing there because it's like, hey, I'm getting hit on your account. But with a pretty, decent balance of it, you'll have it to where a proc occasionally and you're still getting like a consistent amount of damage in. I do think though that like it really just depends on what you're doing. Cause like things like Spire, like dude, like between like resistance and then like even more instinct investment, I feel like the higher like Spire floors like almost kind of need you need a little bit more of that type of TLC. But like for like the bosses, a lot of the things that I just kind of focused on was like investing a little bit more in my tolerances. If not like for a while, like my Thal, for example, I didn't want him getting AoE, not AoE, but getting stunned. So I built him on a build that gave him more tolerance and emphasis, and he was still doing like pretty crazy damage. So that's like something that you can kind of do in the meantime. But you can level tolerances and things of that nature as well, so that you can just like not have those stun phases, because that's kind of what ends up being the problem. It's you have these stun phases, then you have these moments where your instinct procs, so then you're running out of a radius. So it's just kind of finding the right balance. That's like the whole game in a sense. A lot of times you do get a good amount of instinct just from your awakenings too, so you don't have to go so crazy. Wait, you said you had a question on awakening. You said the first node in each awakening tier usually has bonuses like attack, percent, defense, HP. Does the one from tier 2 stack as a full bonus with the one from tier 1, or is it like extra? Is it extra bonus type situation? So I'm gonna have to ask more specifically on that one, because that's the first time I've been asked that. I always thought though it was additive. I didn't think it was like a multiplier, because it says plus. So I'd assumed it was being added to, not multiplied. So I think that there's kind of that, but I can double check. Unless you know Waffles, I'm not 100% sure. But I think I really honestly thought it was additive, to be honest. But if we go to it, let me see. You said, kid, so did you quit? Yeah, why do you want him to quit so bad? Yeah, so like, yeah, each awakening is like, it's HP plus 25%. You said, what did you ask? So you know with the awakenings, how each awakening says like HP plus 25%. Is that additive or is that a multiplier? I thought it was additive because it says plus 25% and not times, or, you know, like by 25%. I mean, that's just kind of my brain from playing like looters and stuff like that. But I'm like, I don't know. The devs could have said, hey, that's still a multiplier. From even when I see the increases, it doesn't look like a multiplier. You said it's from your base stats for level 1, I think. Oh, okay. Okay. So that, I guess that, yeah, that does make a little bit more sense then, because, you said, yeah, I was wondering, one time I looked at the stats before, after clicking it, and after picking it, he said, but that only left me more confused. Yeah, no, that's understandable. Like I said, if that's something, we'll look into it. I'll try to get a more definite answer on that. That's the first time I've been asked that, to be honest. But yeah, nonetheless, though, still important. But that is a really good question, though. But yeah, so yeah, we'll try to get a more finite answer on that. You said, You said there's your answer. You said, yeah. Does T1, T2 add up to 50% for HP? I don't like, because if you go like, so say from like T1 to T2, and if it all added up into like this multiplier, what was like, say you took HP for example, that's 30% in T3, 25%. Like that'd be you'd be kind of stacked over here. But if it is based off of your HP from level 1, then that is a little different too. You said I pulled Sanctus. Sanctus is good. If I recall correctly. Yeah, Sanctus is good. Sanctus is a good epic. And he's a tank. So, and I think he's a light seeker. Yeah, Sanctus is pretty solid. Yeah, you got so he's one of those more interesting characters where like he shields based off of damage dealt and HP. Yeah, Sanctus has launch, stun, got removal of debuffs from himself, which is really nice. And he also can shield again with his A1. I don't think he has anything in his combo attack though. Yeah, it's just outright damage. And actually, he's a damage dealer. I don't know why I always think he's a tank. He's a damage dealer. You know who I'm mixing him up with is Ruthos. Because Ruthos is the best, is like literally one of the best epics in the game. So yeah, he's a full tank. But to be fair, one of the rules of thumbs that I always factor when it comes to LDs is that they're neutral. So you'll never really have too many scenarios where you're like, I can't run them here, unless it's like literally a gimmick that they just don't do well at, right? That's even the beauty of like the starters. The starters are always good, right? Because they're never gonna face a scenario where they're just, unless again, I mean there is like that light and dark thing, but we don't have anything that's like making you really have to be in that situation. So 99% of the time you're in a net positive situation with your starters, versus like everything else. Like even though I have RTU built up, I still have to run another character to replace him if I'm going into a difficulty that he's attribute disadvantage in, just because he takes way more damage there, and he could be built right. So that's like kind of one of those things, why I personally, even in this beginner process, I always still lean into my LD in my core four, because they're just always neutral. Yeah, you're just never gonna run into any issues where you're like, I gotta bench them because they don't offer me anything in this specific dungeon. Now, granted, the deeper you get, there will be gimmicks, obviously, that you have to be more concerned with, but you got a wow. You said about my Titan Surge bug. Support sent me free Titan summons to push the points and fix the claim button. Oh, nice. Congrats. Well, number one, congrats on finishing. But I'm glad that they actually they revised and fixed that issue for you, because I will say the support is really good for the game. Like if you genuinely do have an issue, definitely reach out to them, because they will try to do what they can within means to rectify the situation. You said do some pulls. What pulls? You want some wild star pulls? Is that what you want? You want to see me pull some greens? I don't got nothing crazy for you, brother. Hey, that I can do, you know. The funny thing is you said 2K gems. Oh no, okay. So let's actually have that talk real quick. Do not go in here and start summoning with your gems. You're gonna be so mad at yourself. Gems, that's fuel for energy. Okay, this 3K energy will literally disappear as soon as I start really sitting and doing something. Dude, like I'm telling you, 90, I would say not 90, I say a good 60% of what really helped me push the events was being able to regen energy, being able to again, buying more of those the auto tickets and stuff like that. Like you want to be able to buy those. Again, in the beginning, you're not going to be able to get to the higher elos of arena, and even in the higher elos of arena, it is a good amount of crystals that you're getting, but like just imagine that even lower if you're still in bronze, right? So it's nice, but it's not going to be enough for you to satiate summoning with it and then also doing energy and all that jazz. I will say though, like once your account ramps, like we're about to go into, and I kind of mentioned it in my video I put up, but we're about to go into our monthly reset. Push this as hard as you can within like the next 2 days. Just get as many of the keys as you can into it, reset, and then you'll be right back into accumulating and starting over with a fresh month, which is kind of nice to get at least a portion of 1 month, and then you going into a full month where you technically will be ahead for that next month, because 30 days you should be able to get to about 450. Maybe not on everything, but most of your towers should be around there, if you're staying consistent. And once you start going up higher, you gotta start like really looking at like builds. So you need a little bit more skill up investment, stuff like that too, depending on who it is that's running sustain and who's doing majority of the damage. You start having more rounds. Like now, I think I'm on floor 95 on the Light Spire, and I think there's like 6 waves. I'm like, bruh. It's like, and you guys are gonna have so much fun with Spire at that point, because there's a wave, and I think it's the most troll wave because it's actually funny, but it's called Explosive. There's a whole wave called Explosive where the enemy's just gonna walk up and they just gonna blow up, and you better hope you have enough damage to deal with that. And even in some cases, they're just gonna blow up. So you say, yeah, I was shocked when they replied. So I was expecting my message to get lost in the void. I mean, honestly, right now too, it's really nice because the community is much smaller. So, the devs, they're going to be able to, and just their team, faculty and stuff like that, they're going to be able to handle a lot more way quicker, right? Like once you're now talking about supports dealing with like you know, hundreds of thousands of players at one time, it's a little different, right? Like it might take them a few days, if not longer, to respond to a ticket. I remember Epic 7 was like that. Like I was trying to get access back to my account and it took them mad long to get back to me, because you know you're talking about a game with literally hundreds of thousands of players trying to probably get into their locked account, or you know, they trying to claim something from, you know, a purchase not generating or something like that. So yeah, you have a lot of nuance that comes with bigger communities sometimes. So I would say like right now, definitely enjoy it because it can get a little. Yeah, so I think my issue with this was definitely my Titans, because I swore when I transformed it didn't kill anything. Okay, maybe we playing a little bit different now because we ain't dying like we were before. Okay, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to manual because that I don't know what happened the last time I came in here, but they just fainted. I was like, what is going on? Unless Bullis is just being a god right now, and that awakening push kind of helped him. Oh, it was right here we died. Yep. It was right here. It's because of that. It's poison. Oh, the bleed. That's what's killing me. Let me see. R2 is done. All right, let's see. Oh my god, this cluster killed my healer. Yeah, so Willis has the sustain, but yeah, when you're getting hit with bleed and it's based off your HP, that's just gonna be that. All right, I want to see how far we can push this though. Yeah, those bleed procs are not fun. Okay. All right, so I think the biggest thing then, she did 80k, he did 60. What is RTU doing? You ain't do any damage. Yeah, okay, I'm trolling. I gotta level up their. I'll give their Titans some TLC. I probably have to go do some Titan. Whatchamacallit though. Do. I think it's these three I'm using right now. I think one level 30 might be good. Yeah, I think that might be good. All right, there we go. We'll see how this works. And then I'll control front tank. And I'll change my formation up a little bit. See if that helps. Oh, the Titan power-up's going on. Oh, you know what? I'm skipping this. He said, "Can you run Sanctus instead?" You can and just make him bulky, but he does need to be built with. Actually, hold on. I think he's attack scale. So I think at some point you are gonna have to build him. You're gonna have to build him as a with more damage, so he actually gets more value out of his shielding. But it is partial damage and HP, so you should still be fine. But yeah, he can technically do it. Yeah, he absolutely, yeah, damaged out and max HP. So yeah, yeah, you're gonna for the shielding, because that's gonna be your coverage really with him. It's gonna be the uh it's gonna be damaged out and max HP. Um, I guess the other question I have then is who's your sustain, because he's not giving you anything else. You do get the shield, which is nice, but then you just need somebody to sustain at that point. I'm not sure if you're like near day 7 because then you could just use like Orisa, or if you have like Solnor. Solnor is really good. Um, but yeah, he absolutely can do it. And then the nice thing is too is he can keep debuffs off himself, so it'd be nice to get rid of like bleed and stuff like that. Mm. Oh, hold on. All right, there we go. You said nerf. Wait, nerf Valiant and buff and buff Scion. Oh, you're over here calling characters different names from different games. I'm done. I'm like, who is that? Thaisa is actually like pretty solid. Where's she? She's Eldrin. Yep. Yeah, heal, attack up, chaining, which is nice. So actually, that might kind of go crazy for you. Like, to be fair, and then also just like again, like I said, your light tower, that's gonna be nice. So yeah, I honestly I think you got a pretty good setup, and then your starter. So that right there is just already 3, and then the other unit, I mean, it'll be anybody really. It could be another like sub DPS debuffer, somebody that does something like defense break, or I mean, it could really be anybody that offers that type of value. I feel like just depends on who you picked, I guess. But either way, you still kind of want like defense breaks and stuff like that. Attack downs are nice. Um, but yeah, that's actually really nice. That's really good. And then having an accuracy down debuff on a target is pretty nice too. So yeah, that's actually pretty good start. You got a LD uh, unit. It's like, I guess, what do you call him? He's like hybrid, I guess, because he's like damage dealer tanker. And then you got a pretty good support. So yeah, that's good. That's better than mine. I got just I'm trolling though. Like in reality, when the time comes for me to really like, I could build Railboat. She is really good, and I did use her for my progression. She's not a bad unit. She does help herself with like hitting certain markers too for like crit and crit damage. So she's really good. Actually, I did end up 6-starring her on my main. Like that's like, she's a really strong character. Um, but again, it's like, what are you doing? Like when she's disadvantaged though, man, it just feels bad. Um, oh, okay. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, I can do that? Wait a minute. Hmm. Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, chat. I'm seeing a whole new world right now. You said Craval Harden works on forward. Yeah, Harden is such a great buff, man. Um, yeah, that is such a great unit. Yeah, I haven't been getting anything out of the way though. I mean, we're gonna make it work though. It's fine. Okay, so okay, let me see something. Let me see if that helped. We're gonna run tank. Let me look at my tactics real quick. Probably should change that. Let's go. combo speed, skill recovery in the back line. I think we might run support because we get more HP, more defense in the front, but combo speed and skill recovery. Unless I do a swap, because Alter Use shouldn't even be in the back. It should be Fulric. And then keep my front line the same. So we'll try that. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. So yeah, awakening stats are hard to calculate for a player, as the true numbers aren't visible to us yet. But with a grain of salt, you can take level 1 stats and add on top the awakening stats, like level 1 Sodoma with 25% attack on top of her level 1 stat. Okay, got you. Okay. So yeah, okay, that makes sense then. But at least now we have I'll have some answer for that, because I was like, I didn't even think about that. Never really thought about it. Let's do this. Wait. You said I don't know if Zox told you. Said we recommend Fari as a DPS unit. Oh, I didn't even know they had Falray. Yeah, Falray is great. Shoot, you know what's crazy too? I gotta finish messing around with my Vayne. Yeah, she does fall more into like debuffer enabler. Because that's really what I was using her for at the end of the day. Oh, wait, hold on. My boy, yeah, he's just cooked. I gotta get his yeah, I think that's definitely a Titan difference. Yeah, the survivability was much better now. Yeah, so it's a Titan difference. Yeah, okay. Oh, you ain't have to kill him that fast. No, so they're two separate buffs, Lonzo. Harden reduces damage. Shield is like it would have to specify like when applied to a shield reduces the damage on the shield. It like the shield itself still takes whatever reciprocated damage it's gonna take. If I'm not mistaken, I think Harden is specifically for HP. Bro, I'm so mad. That was what was holding me up. That was so dumb. I was like, dude, I think it's my Titan. And then I pass it, and R2 died. Okay, so we gotta level both their Titans. There's just no way out of this. He said, "Boo." Yeah, I don't you love watching content where I'm not dying? Isn't that like the best? Don't you love that? I know you get a kick out of me dying during the streams and stuff, but it's just so funny to me. Yep, so I'm gonna have to talk about that in the next video. Dying much? You gotta level that Titan. I always forget about that part though, because the Titan is a big part of your stats, and just being able to push, man. Like they make such a big difference. Let's see. Humi, we don't. I just don't understand that. No. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll just run it as is. Yeah. I just gotta pray at some point. I get a Titan to actually give him. Oh, brother. Let me check something real quick. Uh, one sec. Hold on. I'm getting message. One sec, chat. Do. You said Titans gives us Titans give you stats. When they're so whoever a Titan is bound to, they give them more. They give them more stats. So I'm trolling, running around with not investing in them, right? Like I was like my brain is always wrapped in between two different things. It's like when I'm starting a fresh account, I'm just so conscious of the progress quests that I'm not doing too much ahead of time. Because point in case, like I had somebody in game or actually in the Discord, he was complaining about how he had to do another quest for leveling up his gear again, and he had just took pieces to like level 20. Now, when you start looking at taking pieces of gear to level 20, it starts to become very, very pricey. I would say more so pricey in the sense of how much memoriam it costs to take that piece up to level 20. So a lot of the times I save that exclusively for pieces that I know I'm going to keep on a character for a little bit or for a while, if not 5-star gear, right? So yeah, your Titans definitely play a big role in you know, dying or not. And then the other thing is too, is when you're invoking them, they do have their own stats, but they're paired with that character that they're invoked with. So scaling will change according to whoever they're equipped to. And so yeah, that's why it's like Titans aren't, and the way I always look at Titans is Titans aren't just they're not just a what's it called? They're not like a separate character. They're like almost kind of like in tandem gear. Is basically what how I would look at it. It's like they're like an additional like layer of gear. But then they have this really cool transformation and effects and stuff like that. But when you really look at what they do, it's transformation, bound effect, invocation, leave effect, which all directly are going to be affecting the character they're equipped to. So yeah, it's Titans are very important, but that's why I said Titan rarity doesn't nearly matter as much as like your invoker rarity and scalings, because like some of your best in slot pairings, you take like for example, like Nerval, when you're looking at like things like PvP, one of her best Titans is this Wolf Titan, if I'm not mistaken, Warif, or Wolf, I think it's Warif. That's one of her best Titan pairings for PvP, right? It's, again, when you look at what it does, the bound effect and all that jazz, it kind of makes sense of how people are using her and playing her. So even just like a good rule of thumb, like Litria is still a really good Titan, like to invest in. That's the starter Titan they give you. That's a good Titan. It's not bad. So yeah, you definitely are gonna want to invest in them, because if you think like getting a legendary invoker takes time, it takes way longer to get a legendary Titan. And legendary Titans, don't get me wrong, are very, very, very good. It's very, very, very good. You said in most cases hardened buff. I hate this debuff so much. You said in most cases hardened buff is better than defense buff, as with harden you reduce damage taken by a percentage, which usually is a higher percentage than what defense buff gives you. Weaken gives a percentage extra damage, and it also affects dots like burns, bleeds. Shock is a great debuff. Yeah, shock is crazy too, which gives a stun and a built-in weaken. Yeah, shock is that's why I mean all those Reki lovers. There's that. But you said it's hard to build 6 stars. It takes some time. I think one of the big things too is that like you have to like, the game doesn't really I think that's why it's like kind of like, I know for me it's like important I'm making the videos I'm making, because it's the way you get to doing it. There, you know, like when you're talking about like, some people are like telling people like immediately 6-star something, but I'm like, you can't really do that because I mean, for argument's sake, you could, right? You could. you could just do that. But then it's like so much resource that it takes to 6-star a character. Your progress quests are going to be kind of behind at that point, because there's literally progress quests that say you need to have 4 5-star characters, and it doesn't say outright 5-star characters, but it'll say 4 level 50s. So you can't do that if your first initial push is I'm gonna 6-star this one character and that's where my resources are going. It's just kind of like one of those like progressively building up to versus like trying to do a massive leap. I always think, as the saying goes, the tortoise wins the race. It's not about trying to always take those massive leaps. It's like, how can I progressively flesh out my account to where I have this solid foundation, and then it makes it easier. Like now to build a 6-star doesn't take me nearly as long as it used to, and that's just because I have a really solid base and foundation, so it's not so hard to do anymore. But in the beginning, yeah, it is definitely work. I would assume though, once we get to the point where, again, because they're always revamping and adding more stuff, especially once it comes time for like global launch, they'll probably have more streamlined things for the new player progress and just in a general sense. So it'll probably be more things like echoes. And the other thing we have to factor in too, which is going to be, I think that's the update in September. It's going to be that shop that we get, which should not only just be helping us with like skill ups, but there's supposed to be other things in there that's going to help with development. So I think it's just going to be easier. If I'm being honest, starting this series has actually been the fastest I 5-starred anything too, because I was getting rewards from the events, and we didn't have events before. So every time, like, and that's why I said like the game is technically still in development, right? Like it's not like it's out officially everywhere, and this is the global launch. They're still adding more layers to everything. And even from when I started, it took me forever to do my 5 stars, to be honest. And I did my full first team of 5 stars in like, really, it was technically like 3 days. Really, if I'm like actually going around the total amount of play time, it's like 3 days, 3.5 days, 4 max, right? Which really isn't bad. And then from there, it's like, okay, I start to kind of identify getting my Spire fleshed out. And then it's like, all right, I got those things taken care of. I can start actually putting stuff to the side for building up those units that, at that point I've like seen the type of pulls I'm going to get, who might be my first 6-star. So I think that's also the other thing too, is like some people get luckier starts. Some people just don't. I know like for me, like for example, this account, I ain't trying to 6-star nobody just yet, because I think the big thing is too is hitting that first level, is hitting that first legendary, because that really is like one thing that'll be like, oh, okay, I maybe want to 6-star that versus like, all right, I gotta settle and maybe 6-star this. You said you have 3 epic titans so far. And War, what day are you on? How long have you been playing? Because yeah, that's the thing too. Like I can't even stress this. Like the longer you play, the better your account will get. Because like there's like some of the guys that are playing now, like they were playing when there wasn't like spending or any of that, and their accounts are like, Waffle's account is better than mine. And why? Like it just is what it is. You said you should add Titans to the Mighty Zoo tier list. From what I know, because I don't have a direct hand in like making the tier list, so I know that they did mention to me that they were adding more stuff to it. So like bosses, like boss tiering and all that jazz. So Titans, I don't know if they have that in the works. I'm assuming they might though. But yeah, Titans are a whole nother like thing too. They are very important, but then again, it's the same argument. I don't think even like tiering Invokers is one thing, but tiering Titans really, it just kind of depends on who you're using the Titan on. So it's kind of like, again, like I said, there's some rares that are literally top tier. And they're best in slot for some of the characters that are relevant. But if I was looking at another character, it might be a completely different Titan that actually is the best in slot for that character. So it just really all depends on like who you're using and what they do. I think there's always ways to tier stuff anyway, though. But yeah, Titans are a little bit more about what they do versus more so than the rarity. So it's going to throw people off because you're going to be like, wait, But this legendary Titan, it's like it just all depends. You said they already added bosses. Oh, did they? Okay, so they must have did this within a day because like they didn't have that like a day ago. So that's like yeah, that's just that I guess. You said I like that there's a grind though. Maybe players should get help with their first 6 star. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like for me. I'm always for more QOL. For being honest, I'm never really against it. Um, I do think that like that's one of those things that it helps make the game more enjoyable, right? I also think too, like, yeah, it does help like when you're, looking at that first initial character. Like it's also one of those things too where, like I said, we're in a weird spot because there's so many things that you need to really make that character pop off. It's like, okay, I got a 6 star, that's nice, but now I need to awaken them. And when you're talking about like actual like solo potential and stuff like that, like there's dudes right now in Endgame that ain't even past chapter 5 in Insane, right? Like that's like Insane is a whole nother ball game when you're talking about pushing that. And it took me a little bit like to actually get my first character, which my first character I actually got to max awaken star. It was Thou. So that was some time. That was a little bit of time into my progression on my main account. So yeah, awakening is like a whole nother ball game because pointing like one thing that I don't think some people are thinking about, right, is that certain characters you can't full out build them the way you want to, because if you go to campaign and you look at like, okay, each chapter essentially represents a faction, right? So let's say your runes for a character drops in chapter 9, but you are trying to do the rune for, yeah, let's say it's a beast blood you're trying to build, right? But now you're trying to push chapter 9 insane. It's gonna take you some time. So you're gonna be basically having to fuse up on your runes, which they do have a trader system for that, which, that is nice to have. But for anybody that's building a character that's in these first few chapters, like in chapter 1, you're going after runes for Eldrin. That's going to be much easier for you to build up. And that's also another reason why too, like I mentioned, like with the gear, like HP gear is kind of your first stepping stone gear into the dungeons, really, because even when you're looking at 5-star potential gears, the first place where you're even going to see that. And you can actually get that gear, invest in it somewhat, and then start to work on the more specific builds from other content. So yeah, it's like those little things you have to factor in. That's why, like, even with the starters, you have Salanthus Nocturna, Malgar is Iron Band, Celissa is Eldrin. So like with Celissa, I just go here. If you have Danos, I think Danos is here in chapter 4. Chapter 3 is Stoneheart, which we don't have a Stoneheart starter. So like Malgar, I think, is actually chapter 5. So yeah, Malgar is chapter 5. And then Nocturna is chapter 2. So like if you pick like out of the starting 3, chapter 1 is Celissa, chapter 2 is Salanth, and then chapter 4 is Danos. So I mean, even as far as you have to go, like the one for Danos, like, because I had to do that push in order to start building him, wasn't as bad, but it was definitely a little bit more because it was a whole nother chapter. But yeah, once you start getting to this point, it's definitely much harder. It's definitely much harder, and it's because of the stage types. Like I felt like once you got to chapter 6, 7, and 8, even 9, you had like more of those like protect this statue type stages. And those stages are rough when the mobs are hitting it like, for 1 million damage, and you for 1 million damage at the same time. So yeah, that's just kind of one of those things that's like, kind of worth thinking about too when you're like looking at your awakenings and stuff like that. You say you're on day 8. So day 8, do you have your full? I'm assuming by day 8. Yeah, day 8 you should have your full 5. Working on your first 6-star, it should be possible by like I would say probably like if not your full second week, like going into your early third week, you should be able to do it. Um, I'm a C because it's like with this account, my time it's actually quicker. I'm gonna be honest. It took me longer to do it before. Um, so the welcome event did kind of throw me off a little bit because you get like way more 4-star echoes from that than obviously you normally do because you don't get anything. You said the mom's a terrorist. I mean, hey, all I gotta say is they hit hard. That's for sure. Yeah, the moms are pretty ridiculous in the latter chapters. They are. He said chapters 4 and 7 were my bottleneck chapters because almost every DPS I have is fire. Yeah, that was the situation I was. So actually, you know what made my situation low key really bad? It was when because you got to remember I started around the time right before Dot got nerfed or adjusted more so. So I had built like 5 units that were like Dot fixated, and I was just like, I was sitting there just like, yo, I have to. I was like, I gotta kind of rebuild everything. So I was in a really weird spot for a bit. I was like, dude, and it was crazy too, cause like I built up who was the unit I didn't get the chance to use her, Sodoma. Like right at the peak hype of Sodoma, I built her, and then they were like, yeah, so we done changed how bleed works on these bosses, and I was like, dang. So I'll probably revisit her for some of the areas that she still works in, but it's just crazy. That's why I love like these earlier tests and stuff like that, because you do get to see like, yo, we used to have it where like literally bleed was just dumb. That was like that was when I had got lucky and I had got Moldak in the beginning, and Victra, and so those are literally my 2 damage dealers, and they're both dark characters. I was like, yeah, I'm about to cook. That was funny though. But yeah, that was that. And then I ended up swapping over to Kalis. Ended up building her for direct damage, and Serene. They were the 2 damage dealers I really started to lean more into. All right, so we're at a minute 27. It's actually not bad. You say you literally have mobs blowing themselves up with bombs. Yeah, that's there's one chest in particular in chapter I think in chapter 5 actually, where if you go to the door and it's surrounded by these 3 bombs, in hard mode they'll especially because of your builds and stuff at that point, they'll just straight one shot you, which is kind of funny. It got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to come back to this. I'm gonna have to come back to this chest later, because yeah, I was getting destroyed. But yeah, other than that though, I mean, I'm gonna get a little bit of Pentax runs, and then I'm gonna see how far I can go though, and I'll level up some of my other invokers. I really don't think I need to do much more though, just because that one level 30, it just makes such a big difference. And you guys are lucky too. Pentiax used to be way worse to fight. They actually adjusted how this fight goes, and it's way better to do now. The only one I think that's still kind of like a journey is Yaskara. That feels like a world boss. Like just the map. Yeah, your character's running a mini marathon to get across the map. Let's see here. Boop. Oh, he messaged me. Hold on. He said, what happens after the chase is over? Do we lose the crowns or can we save them? So after the chase is over, and this, I probably will have to reiterate that before it goes away. The chase, when it's over, if you don't use your crowns, the game will auto buy from the highest item to the lowest based off of however many crowns you have. They're going to spend them. Crowns don't carry over. So it is important that you use your crowns. What a lot of people decided to do was if they knew they weren't going for Tyrannus or weren't going to be able to, they were like, you know, I'm just going to go for legendary books or something like that, or legendary codexes. So you want to make sure you spend them for whatever it is that you may want to. There was some people that didn't even go after legendary codexes. They just went after bulk buying rare ones. So yeah, it's entirely up to you on how you spend them, but just make sure you spend them if you don't want the game to auto purchase anything. So we might die here. Yeah, so this one is, it's close, but or maybe I don't know. Okay, nope, we got it. Yeah, this is close though. This is the highest we're gonna be able to go. Said, bro, Yaskara got so much better once it helped by killing the middle clone. Yeah, and that's the thing too. I said that to somebody the other day. They're like, dude, Yaskara sucks, and I was like, dude, imagine that. That's not even her prior to. I'm like, that's her after getting somewhat reworked. I'm like, yeah, she used to be a crazy long. Still got some time on it, but it's definitely not nearly as long as it was. You said that's lame. I mean, typically with these types of events, those types of currencies usually don't carry over. I personally have never seen it where like these types of events carry them over. Some games do have forms of events where they'll allow you to carry over certain currencies. But I think because of the intentionality of like making people like kind of do these tournaments, and from the looks of it, they want you to be saving so that you can actually get stuff. I will say, I know like as far as this event rotation, they're going to be taking all of this data and like probably making some tweaks because they did make note of like the fact that like certain things were, you know, a little much, but I think it just kind of depended too, like who was doing the event. Because like for us at Endgame, it was definitely a little bit harder, but it was doable to like if you saved, right? The problem I noticed that some people ran into was that they blast their summons every character implementation update that we have. So it's not like Invokers hasn't just like we just had this game at base and there's been no updates. They've been doing constant updates up until the events finally came out where they were adding more characters. And so with those updates, people would basically save. That was the format of how we played before. We would basically just save up our currency from tower, and then when new characters would drop, that's when we would summon to hopefully get the newer characters. But the thing that ended up shifting obviously is the events, right? So now I think that was what happened. People just didn't have enough on hand. And so it obviously makes the event less achievable at that point. But I basically went through the entire event with just currency I had earned from the Spire, like any of the mission accomplishments from like summons and stuff like that. Even the Invoker summon Surge, I completed that whole thing with Wild Stars. I didn't even use any like I didn't even use any of my big summons, which to be fair is like kind of crazy. Like that's like granted, yeah, that's like 2.7K is what I spent on the 2 times, which I would say probably on average you probably more so around like 3K, 3.1 maybe depending on your luck. And that again, I think was supposed to be less because, or even more points or less summons because we had a bug that actually happened. So I probably should have been spending less. But with that, the only one that I felt like, even then when I like kind of was like looking at what people needed, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be way worse, but I feel like a vast majority of the event, like, a lot of players just weren't realizing we had the 2 times. So when they were doing the math, it was a lot of like, oh, this event's just really bad. And when you actually apply the 2 times to a lot of them, they're pretty okay. Some events though do feel kind of rough because it's the ratio of what drops. So Crest Omnisci can be a little jank. I think crest might be the one that I was like, oh man, like it's just kind of like the luck of your crest drop rarity. It's like, let me get a high one so I can get up out of here. The hunts are really easy. And then if you're a new player, like you literally only had to do 1/3 of the points, which was like nothing. Like, so even for this new account, I have crowns and I wasn't even trying to really intentionally do anything. Um, so I have to build more vampire assistants. So not only one of my heroes vamp set on the range, so 5 fighters vamp set freeze. I mean, it just it like also depends too. Like I know usually if it's like my main damage dealer, I usually just throw them in vamp. Vamp is actually good though for the extra sustain, especially like on top of extra healing too. But Vamp performs better as well once you're able to deal more damage, and that just comes with like better gear, more investment into the individual character. So Luna says LD3 unit, which you can get from Wildstar Summons. She has Revive in her kit, which helps a lot. Oh, you're talking about wait, is she you said LD3 unit? I thought she was a okay, maybe I'm trolling. My brain doesn't want to work right now. It's okay. It's fine. My brain doesn't want to work right now. I think do I have no? That's Mad Madsen. I don't think I got her. Yeah, I don't think I got her. But yeah, she's a Nat 3. And that's why I mean, yeah, you don't really get much options from low rarities for sustain right now for dark. So. Let me think here. We got to level up. Whose Titan was it? It was the Wolf one, I think. I think it was the Wolf one. We'll level up this one a little bit. Yeah, so that's 25. That's gonna be quite a big difference here. All right, there we go. So that at least should be for my core team. And we'll take this Titan power up. He said, guess I got lucky. Got Tassi, Thou, Scoville's been playing 2 days. Did spend on a couple of the beginner packs. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Listen, I thank you. We're gonna have a game much longer, dude. Listen, I love spenders. I like personally. I'll play games free to play. You know, I'll usually how I play most games. I'll have a free to play account. That I take all the way to end game and I'll play long term, and then I may have a spender account. It just really all depends on if I really want to go that crazy spending or whatever it may be, or doing summon sessions and stuff like that. But dude, yeah, spenders make the games stay around longer. So thank you. and you got a good account on top of that. So there's just you're more likely to stick around. Skolos, I'm not gonna lie, is basically he's a LD and an RGB body. I'm pretty sure Waffles will agree to that statement, because Skolos is kind of dumb. Like he makes no sense, and he's really good. Like dude, he's a nightmare in arena. Like that's like all high elo, by the way. Like you'll see a Skolos on like every team. I'm like, dog. It's like I can't deal with it. I'm like, if I see a Skolos, I'm just like. And then the thing is, it's not like his weak Skoloses up there. They got like maxed out, max ascended Skoloses. I'm like, oh God, like this guy. There was only one guy in the gold rotation push that I was doing. He had like a 5-star Skolos, and I was abusing him because I was like, dude, I'm so tired of getting beat up by this character. Like it's just is what it is. But yeah, that's really good. Tassi is great. I just got her from my pity, and she's one of the best supports in the game. Thou's an excellent damage dealer. excellent damage dealer. So yeah, you got some crazy luck, because even with spending, right, there's no guarantee you'll get that. Like honestly. So I just want Skolos for the PvE. He is my bottleneck to 16 Pentax. Dude, you know what? And that's the crazy thing too. He is gonna be good there too. And that's the reason why, like, I was saying that the other day, like, I want more than one unit. a lot of the times, because I want to build them separately for PvE and just keep them that way, and then have a separate build and variation for them for PvP. Because yeah, that's how I kind of feel with like Nervelle. It's like I want to build her a certain way for PvP, but then I also want to keep her the way I have her for PvE. And so even with Thao, I'm gonna, when I hit day 270, I'll be able to get another Thao, and that's gonna be crazy, dude. Running around with 2 Thaos is just like, that just sounds fun. It's just like double bunks, you know? That's just like, I like, that's the dream right there. He's like, can you give some fusion recommendations? Yeah, fusion recommendations. I'll say like in the very beginning, I definitely think a good one that's pretty achievable to do. Belmore is great. Belmore is actually great. If you don't outright pull them, definitely would say Belmore is a good one. If we're looking at the other options, I've played Tower with Ortak. Ortak genuinely does, like, I just don't like his kit. Like how he, like, it's not even his kit, it's his hits. It's his animations and how he hits. It just doesn't feel that great. Yeah, I would say, definitely say like Belmore. Belmore is the prize here. Kalis is really good. If we're looking at epics. Caliph is also really good as well. Virak is decent. I did do a fusion for him on an early progression. He wasn't bad to have. Usasa is not a bad. I know, you know what? It's regen. I don't like regen in the early game as much, because I think that's what she had. Yeah, she has regen. Yeah, I feel like regen is just like, it just use Sonar. If you get Sonar, like like this is that, like because Sanka, I mean, I think she's bleed, so yeah, dude, Vorak, like, I'm not gonna, like, I won't knock him. He does his thing. She's not bleed. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of, I always mix her up in Sodoma. She has attack down, crit rate down, weaken, ultimate mana. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. You said she has regen plus her ult though. Oh, you're talking about Usasa? Yeah, Usasa's ult is good. It is. I used her. I liked her, but it was like, yeah, the regen, it took me a little bit to really get value out of it, but yeah, she's not bad either. I feel like, honestly, if we're talking about like tank, Belmore, Kalis, no brainer. I think everybody definitely is gonna want her, because Kalis is actually a really, really good damage dealer. She's really good. Definitely Vorak. Usasa, I think, is a good one too. I'm not gonna hate on her. Caliph is a good one as well. Those would be like ones I would say are like kind of ones you could prioritize. If I was to give like an order, I think Belmore is pretty easy to do in the beginning. Kalis definitely is a top prio. I think depending on what you may or may not have, you might do Vorak, because Vorak has a pretty good kit. Defense down and weaken in his ult. Like that alone is good. Like, to be honest. He has extension to debuffs, transfers debuffs, and then he can also do damage based off of debuffs on the target. So yeah, like that's good. Like, ideally, when a character can have two of one thing in a kit, like that, or in one skill, that's really, really good. Because a lot of the times you'll see that the uptime on that versus like if you're doing like two separate skills, where some characters have like the defense break in one skill and then they have the attack break in another. There's some characters that literally have all their debuffs in one skill. Like that is like that in my opinion does separate characters too, just because of, you know, damage windows and stuff like that. Like, sometimes your character might go for the A2, you know, the A2 does their defense break, but the damage window, it's not exactly at that time when you get your crit rate up buff or something. Like, it's one of those things where I'm kind of interested to see like what features we'll get to kind of maybe help us with prioritization of skill usage. That might be a thing that might be cool, is to be able to kind of like prio skills, I guess. Yo, what's good, Light? How you doing, bro? He said my biggest issue is XP for heroes. I can't start up because no XP for food. Biggest thing with XP is 2 times on the highest stage you can do. Really, right? Like that's really where EXP is gonna kind of shine. And to be fair, there's like some really interesting like methods that I've even been coming across of how people like will collectively be leveling things on their account. There's dudes that literally will pop the 2 times, right? They use Spire to level up characters from base. And I wasn't even thinking about that initially, but like once you actually have an established team, usually for your first few floors of your not even few, but the like first like few sets of your tower climb, you really only need like one character that can kind of carry the damage. What people will do is they'll literally just put units in there and use that as a way for them to gain XP from each stage, because you do gain XP from each stage of tower, and then you get the EXP pots. So that's something that's like kind of like an interesting thing that people do to like kind of squeeze EXP. But yeah, I mean, the main source is going to genuinely just be, you know, like campaign farming. And I will say this though, you're going to get to a point where you're going to have a crazy amount of it, because you're going to get to a point where like, okay, I kind of got stuff built, and then you're just not going to be building stuff for a while. And then everything you do gives you EXP. So it does accumulate like right now on my main, because if we're just looking at like my, my small pots right now, let me see if I can look at them. Maybe go to a character that's not leveled. All right, there we go. Yeah, so right now I have 200. Yeah, I have 200k small pots. And oh, the other thing you got to think about too, this is another EXP yield, and it's actually really good. When you're summoning wild stars, get rid of all your commons. Commons give you so much accumulative or added up EXP. Like when I did the this last Invoker summon surge, I got so much EXP from selling commons. Granted, I summoned 2,000 wild stars, but selling that gave me a ton of EXP. And those turn into, after a certain amount, I forgot what the exact number is, those turn into 20k pots. So, you know, if you're looking at like, I got 200,000 of the 100 ones from selling commons. That was like, again, turning into 20k pots, which is a good amount of EXP. And so I had a ton of EXP from that. So yeah, EXP I think also is going to be like mix. We'll probably have more things that come and give us like, you know, more of the higher tiers, and depending on what it is, because clan content's a whole nother thing. So I don't know if we're going to get EXP from that. That also might be an avenue for, maybe they might add summons. I don't know. They might say that might just be gear. Like, I have no idea. I don't think anybody really knows yet. So when you do look at these types of games though, like the clan content ends up being really important to your monthly resource yield. So I would suspect that might be something they factor into it. And then you factor in like events and stuff like that. You said, what do you mean 2 times? Wait, 2 times? Oh, are you talking about the XP? I might have said 2 times. Sorry. It's the plus 50%. My bad. 2 times is the event. So the 2-time bonus is the event. My bad. I might have misspoke. But yeah, it's the 2 times bonus on Tyrannus Chase. I've been so mixed on saying these 2 things over and over, start to mix them. Yeah, it's 50%, the plus 50%, not 2 times. But yeah, those are like the main source of EXP avenues, I would say. It's like you're kind of getting them that way. So yeah, that's that. All right, we should be good though with Pentax. And now we can finish pushing this. I'm gonna auto it just to see if they die. Maybe. If not, we cook. Okay. All right, we should be good though, I think. And I might give the Might give the Titan to Celissa so she doesn't die. He said 2x for sure. Nah, dude. Yeah, dude, if it was 2x, we would have way more EXP. Yeah, look at this. They look extra healthy now. So yeah, that Titan dude is gonna make a big difference. I really should be trying to get the chest at the same time, but I think I missed the first one. Definitely missed the first one. Also, guys, if you are in the stream for the first time, welcome. I would appreciate it if you could like the stream. That just helps the stream become more visible so more people can see it. But again, if you are new, welcome to the community. If you're not, oh God, yeah. See, I would have walked by all three of them. If you're not, appreciate you for being here, regardless. So yeah, there we go. Titan for the win, man. Yeah, because I think like all the hard, like you're basically like 4 star gear. Start to shift that off, and then you start moving into once you get past this into insane. There's one stage in the chapter 8 that's so ridiculous. It's one of those survival ones too, funny enough. Yeah, those survival stages are crazy, and it's like I think it makes you try to survive for like 2 minutes or something like that, but that 2 minutes feels like years. All right, there we go. So we got 2 stars on that one. So yeah, now we're cooking. We're cooking this chapter. Let's see here. Goodbye. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how far I can push Arturu, because it'll be my first push where I'm actually going to try to push him, because I replaced him the last one. And then I also might push Bullis this one as well, because the last free-to-play series I did, I got Kunfar. And yo, dude, Kunfar and Danos together was so much fun. They were just doing way too much. They was over here acting like Beyblades. I was like, dude, what is this crap? These are the biggest problem I have is with AoE. None of my units have good AoE. Yeah, AoE is it is one of those things that I think is great to have. I think that's also another reason why like I prefer Danos or Celissa, because it's like you're guaranteed to have AoE between the two of them. A little bit different in how they do it, I guess, but you're still getting like a good amount of AoE. Danos, like he has 2 AoE hits, the charge and then the spin to win ult, which is great. And then Celissa has that it's like the barrage arrows, and then her ultimate is like a big nuke. Trying to think of off the top of my head any of the RGBs that kind of have. There's I can't remember her name off the top of my head. She's a Win Cambion unit, and she has a giant shuriken. I used her when I was doing my other account. She had a pretty good AoE. And I mean, she's a Nat 3 star that you can hopefully get from Wildstar. She is like pretty feasible, it is pretty doable to get her at some point from Wildstars. But she has a really good AoE. And it's just like she throws the shuriken out and it just like hits everything that's within that that pathing. So it's like it's a really good ability. She was really fun. Trying to think who else is kind of like I mean, Lumi is not bad, but I think she is actually. Hold on, Lumi might be an option here. No, because she's 1. Yeah, she's 1 on that. Yeah, she's all single. Let's see who else has AoE. I don't know why I felt like Reki had an AoE, but I don't think she did. No, she did have an AoE. Yeah, it was okay. It was the AoE shock and then the single target weaken. Yeah, so Reki, I still think Reki is a unit you can use to progress. Like she was definitely a unit I was running through campaign with for a while. And then she eventually went into my tower. Let me see, out of the free characters. Yeah, single target. Yeah, you're not free. Who's the other free one? It's I think he has an AoE. Yeah. So Masuke is actually not bad either. He's a little selfish, I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess he is selfish, but he does have an AoE. He is water, so I mean, he could work. He absolutely could work as far as like something you can get for right now to kind of help you. And I think the stage that he's on, can't remember which one. Yeah, it's this one. It's chapter 4. So that is a place that, like, if you're like really at your wits' ends and you need AOE, as long as I guess he's not disadvantaged to wherever it is you're trying to take him, that is an option. Out of like at least something that's droppable from campaign. I usually normally like, and I do build this character normally for my tower. But like, to be fair, like tower campaign, like anyone that can do AoE is just like inherently going to be good in any mob situation at that point, because that's kind of what you end up dealing with as you climb up. It's just more and more and more enemies. And like single target units obviously suffer in those scenarios because they're like trying to pick off one at a time, but you got 50 enemies hitting you. And that's why like Danos is great. Celissa goes crazy. Even units that have like abilities like the bleeds and the burns are kind of nice, because then that's just, you proc that debuff, you can run over and hit something else and they're still over there dying, you know? So yeah, like it's certain effects do have a different appeal based off of what you're kind of doing, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I wish Bullis was like, I wish he was like Colodon. Because Colodon is just crazy, but... Alright, let's do this. Okay, it's that way. Can we like heal him? Oh yeah, this is that one. Okay, good heal. Yeah, Lonzo, once you get him built up, you'll be good, bro. Yeah, once you get forward built up, you'll be good. I actually might start skilling up my forward too, so I can do a little bit more with him. He's dead almost. He somehow survived that. I don't even know how. Yeah, forward got a heal like immediately. No chest over here. Oh, they're going over there. Oh, good heal. That was good timing. Good transform. I don't know how Bullis does it, dude. Man will literally have 1 HP and still be alive. Like, he has no health. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that one was a little bit of a rougher 3 or 2-star, but we got it. Alright, and then I think we just got to do 5. I don't think this one we have to clear all of it. Okay, get that. Jeez. Alright, yeah, let me slow this down. Yeah, those bleed debuffs are crazy. Oh, good shield. I don't know if he's gonna survive though. That's the only thing. Oh, nope, never mind. See, it's like every time I think he's about to die, he's like, nah, I got him. It's like one of them. It's like real risky teams. Okay, not bad, not bad. That stun is not. That stun lasts long. Jeez. Yeah, Bulla said I'm about to go over here on 1v1. Hill block is not good. Okay, nice. All right. Victory. All right, there we go. Progress quest complete. And then we just have to go back. Chapter 8 stars, 20. We got 14. We got to do the chest, so let's do that. Boom, boom, boom. We'll go. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that is one we need to do. Yeah, so we got to just level his because he's suffering right now. Yeah, let's do that real quick. We got to do boss mode stage or 5 or higher. Ooh, that was really close, but we'll try it again. You said I was hoping to get Plumia, but there's someone over 600k points. Yeah, there's one guy in my group that's like 350 something or something like that, or he might have 400k. I got to look at it again. But yeah, if you get in a group and there's that one guy that's like, I'm about to go crazy, yeah, it does make it a little bit harder to get her, or a lot harder, I should say. But she's absolutely good, like insane to get on a fresh start, to be honest, if you're able to get her. Let's see here. We're gonna do just need enough so that we can level his Titan sub. Okay, there we go. Except Pluma is a great epic for people if they get lucky enough to get her from the event. Yeah, I was hoping I could get her, but like my event right now is, yeah, I'm at 226, rank 9. Yeah, this guy's almost at 500k. He's pushing it because his group, or the guys that at least are behind him, Marie and I guess Sebo, yeah, they're gonna try to snipe him. Like those points are way too close. Somebody's gonna try to snipe that. And these guys are also going pretty hard because like I'm keeping up with my account, like maintaining dailies and like doing the progress quests. For them to be level 31, they're farming. Like they're definitely like he's farming right now. Because these accounts are only 6 days old, so he's going ham right now. But because we still landed in the top 10 at least, we still get some diamonds in an epic book, so we'll take that. That's still something. And then I guess the goal, which I can easily hit with gear, I can just get the legendary codex from here. That'll be good, and I'm content, honestly. You said, yeah. That spacing is like super easy to get sniped by. Like, I mean, like this person could just go and level gear and close that gap really if they wanted to. But like you don't want to do it too early, because then if you make that person feel like you're too close, then they might jump the gun and say, hey, I'm gonna blast another 100k points now because this person got so close. But if you keep a healthy gap, it might stop them from going that extra mile. But yeah, I got sniped. I think I lost a tourney local by like 20k points, and it was like and it was a gear up event, so like literally I could have leveled like probably like 1 or 2 pieces and got that same 20k if not more. So yeah, I was kind of salty when that happened. But I was like, hey, I'll take that loss. I congratulate the person. I wasn't, Oh, you know what? I'm doing the wrong fight. I'm like, why am I getting gear? Wrong boss. Sorry. Let's see. It was supposed to be Pentiax. I swear I clicked you, but I guess I think all the bosses look alike. Um, you said she gonna do the Lightning McQueen ton over the finish line. That was funny. Let's do this, and that. All right, that should actually make this much quicker. And then we'll do a good. We'll try to do like 5 or so. Just throw that on. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, other than that, pretty good. And I don't have any gear to tweak as of the moment. So you can skip chess if you can run, or if your DPS can run it down. Yeah, dude, how was the push for you though, Waffles, on doing the stages that you needed to do for the chess? Because I felt like my times were like exact almost. Like if it said you got a minute and 15 seconds to do it, I'd be like a minute 14, if not a minute 15. I was like, dude, this is kind of exact. It's crazy how close the times were. I was like, dude. So I feel like at certain points, it's only but so much one tapping speed that you get. I guess it's like if something one taps, it just one taps at that point. The only way I could see it maybe being even faster is if you maybe have higher movement speed. That actually might be one of those things. I wasn't thinking about that. It might be movement speed that you have to like kind of think about. Let's see. He said, "Is it possible to do multi-battle on background? Multi-battle on background, like how I'm doing it right now. Like I can't do anything else like content-wise, but this can go in the background and I can like mess with my gear and stuff. They'll probably, I would think the devs would probably make it to where we can actually go in and maybe do arena or something like that. Probably not 2 PvE pieces of content at the same time though." You said my Devi is one tapping everything. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I was still killing everything pretty quick, but I guess what insane. No, insane. Hold on, let me look at my times because on insane, yeah, like I'm okay. So like take chapter 1 for example. I'm doing stuff in like a minute maybe, which I think is pretty quick, but. I mean, it could be fast. I could just be slow, right? Like that could be really slow comparatively. I don't know. Um, You said, yeah, I didn't see that option. Yeah, so that unlocks at 25, I think. I think it's 25. I think you get the option to be able to use it. Up until that point, you just have the multi-battle on the screen. So yeah, that's kind of how it goes. So how do you prioritize awakenings? How do you prioritize awakenings or levels for heroes? For example, do you push for level 50 before awakenings? Yes, because level 50 is a requirement. Like, so, for example, awakenings also are going to be a thing you need to do, but it's going to be more of a broader statement. It'll say, invest in 10 or awaken 10 nodes on a character. That could be any 10, right? But level 50, it's like that's a little specific. You're not just gonna like, that's not gonna just be anybody. It's more than likely gonna be your main team. So your first, like my first 4 core level 50. Oh, I keep hitting this quest thing it's gonna take me to, and it's actually taking me to the place. I think it was my last page, maybe. Let me see where that mission is. Oop. Is it this one or is it 18? Oh, right here, for example. So page 18, have 3 level 50 or higher invokers. But you're in the earlier stages or pages, it'll say have 2 characters at second awakening. So you do kind of bounce between the 2. But that's why, like for me, I usually, whenever I'm starting, I always follow this, especially in the beginning, because you're gonna get stopped on this at some point, right? but it's just that so I can be as efficient as possible to make sure like, okay, what really is the bottleneck here? It would be leveling at that point, because I could be over there leveling a whole bunch of fodder, and then I only got one level 50. So now I'm stuck on this page. And the reason why you don't want to get stuck is because it's like, well, if I have let's say spire keys, I want to make sure that like for the mission where it says win 3 spire battles, I'm going through pages so I can do that next rotation of spire entries. I don't want to be stuck where I'm still on this one page dealing with that, and then I use my spire keys, and then I get to another page where it's like, hey, we want you to win another 3 spire battles. Now I'm stuck for the day because I don't have any more spire keys. So it's like kind of like that efficient push, right? Like it's between those things. From what I've noticed, the leveling is always like one thing you kind of need to be doing anyway. And then it's going to ask you to start things up. It will say ascend 2 evokers to 4-star, right? So they're kind of, in a way, they're preparing you for level 50. That's really what the missions are kind of doing. They're like more so pushing you to level 50 your characters than it is awakening. But awakening is still a part of it, if that makes sense. So, but then again, they added, this was probably one of those few updates back. They had added more quests, but the quests do change a little bit. Like it does become more awaken focused. So you're worried about your level 50s at first. But then it's also now trying to get you to work on making the other characters on your account more invested. So like page 24, have 1 level 55 or higher invoker, but it also wants you to have 2 level 50 or higher fire invokers in your collection. This is why when I was talking about how, because my brain is weird. I don't have anything like ADHD or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know. But I always try to simplify things for my brain because I get overwhelmed, right? So for me, the thing I always try to do, because I know these things are coming up, I'm already thinking about, okay, I need 2 fire characters built up. So that also makes sense to how you progress that tower. You have 1 unit that's kind of carrying, then it starts becoming 2. Usually I try to mix it between some form of a tank damage dealer or sustained damage dealer. So if you go to each of my attributes, even now, fire, I have 2 characters that I'm using primarily, right? Earth, I got 2 characters that I'm using primarily, which is Drovis and RTU. Wind, these 2 characters are my carries right now. I don't have a support built, but it's about to be Halia in a second. Water, I have what's his name, Furlick, and then I'm going to build this other Stoneheart here, Orvidal. I used him on my other account. He was great, so yep, he's getting built. Him or really honestly, Grenand could work. I mean, she's nice because she's also ranged, so that is a thing. But light is Chatus and then Celissa, and then on dark, dark is actually Mad Mazin and then also Reki. So even though I don't have like a 3-star dark, I'm already starting to think about those things. Like, okay, the game's gonna ask me for that. I kind of need to do it anyway. So the other thing, like I said, with this progression push, they gave way more 4-star echoes. So I was able to 4-star those characters, which then still count for like the Ascension 4-star mission, and then still make my 5 stars at the same time. And so that 1 out of your core, like you said, I mean, after you built your core 4, you said my core 4 right now is 3 level 50s and 1 level 60. So when building other heroes for other teams, though, not sure what to prioritize first. Oh, okay. So again, to what I was saying, is going to be level 50s. So the other teams, for like your other towers, that's why like you'll hear a lot of us say the rule of thumb is you can basically comfortably level 50 anything in the game. Like there is no, like you're not at the point of like disparity or sunken cost fallacy once you take something to 50. It's taking things to 60 that does that. Because taking things to 60 is just significantly harder and more resource, push at that point to do that. And that's not just the echoes, but then leveling. That's a good chunk of EXP too. But taking characters to 50 is like honestly the sweet spot. Even a lot of tower push, some people have very, very minimal investment in the skills. They might have a little bit. A lot of people, and this is one of the things too, when you're looking at like uncommons and stuff like that, I did on my first run, I did skill them a little bit, but I didn't take them to max. But like with rares, for example, you can still use like blue books on them because up until about, like, for example, level 4, up until 5 is where you actually start having epic books come into play. So blue books aren't that hard to get, if we're being honest. Out of the codexes, it is one of the more common ones that you get. One thing that I don't see being mentioned quite a bit, I see Waffles usually mention it, but a lot of characters, if we're talking about like what really is going to be a big deal, a lot of people focus on your skills, but I'm coming to find, dude, that your combo attack is so important. Like, combo attack is huge. When I'm doing like my breakdowns, because I'm doing some extensive testing now on my main account with certain things, and you do the final breakdown of everything at the end, majority of your damage, like most of the time, is going to come from your combo attack. Like, and that's just, it just is what it is. It's your most consistent form of damage. And it doesn't seem like this scales that much, but when you're really looking at that, how that works and like how it scales as you get better gear and the stats, because you'll see your actual numbers based off of your investment on the character. Combo attack, I feel like a lot of people neglect it. Your combo attack is huge. Like, it's such a huge source of damage. So yeah, you said look at Volok's auto attack versus Litria's auto attack. Hold on. When you're talking about the Titan, so auto attack. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that make, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. That's funny. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so you got a defense break in the dang auto attack. That's just funny. Okay, so we love to see that. We love to see that. And you said Volux. So Magi Titan. So Magi Titan, hold on. Dude, yeah, dude, those combo attacks is crazy important. And I like, and that's, and again, guys, I want to emphasize, like, I'm still learning so much about this game too. So I'm sharing a lot of knowledge that that I, like, as I'm learning more and refining my own accounts and stuff like that, I'm just like, dude, I'm like, there's a lot of value in, like, oh, dude, yeah, that makes sense now. And see, like, yeah, point in case, like, this is why I said, like, with some of these characters, like, I was like, it ain't just about the rarity. Yeah, like, he has crit rate down in his, but defense break is huge. And then that ends up becoming another damage window at that point. Yeah, extension, debuffs. So yeah, that definitely, like, night and days your run. Increased cooldowns. Yeah, so that defense break on the free one that they give you is crazy. Yeah, that's such a big deal. Yeah, that's a big deal. So yeah, the combo attacks are, like, pretty important. Even when you look at your characters, every character, not every character, a lot of legendaries, for example, even some epics have it where their 5th hit does something. So that 5th hit, like I said, is one of your main source of damage. But then if that 5th hit does something crazy, like generating mana or generating Titan mana or extending debuffs or decreasing their cooldowns and stuff like that, that's gonna be nuts. You know what I mean? You said Zachary in Discord with his Devi is doing PTS 16 in 50 seconds because his Volux Titan auto attacks. That's crazy, bro. And that's every 2 hits. So, or every other hit. Not even every 2 hits, every other hit. So yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane. And that's why I have been trying to, like, get everybody to understand that too, is like the Titans, you ain't just looking at them because of the rarity. It's like, no, what do they do? Like, what are they actually doing? Because yeah, otherwise you could literally have a Titan on that, like, doesn't really benefit the character much, or your team. So, okay, I think we did that for I don't know whose Titan that was for. Oh, Stoneheart. I'm not gonna lie, I use this Titan quite a bit on my main account, and like res down is kind of low-key nice, not gonna lie. I gotta invest in it a little bit more. But then the 60% accuracy up, I was like, dude, like that's like a really nice combo. Res down into an accuracy up. I'm about to land everything on you real quick. That's a nice combo. So I've been using that quite a bit. But the one that I have, the only legendary I have on my main account, which like once I actually put it on the right person, that dude ain't missing the debuff it again. Like, where is he? Freeborn, Myrmideer. Like I was kind of low key sad when I got him at first because I was like, I don't know if I'm really use this guy like that. But he has combo speed down with ultimate mana genning if he's critting. But he has a defense break, stun, pulling. But this, I was like, dude, okay. So he has that accuracy bound effect. And so now I give him to my Zelasi because I was running him on Sebastian. I was like, oh, this is doing something. It wasn't doing anything other than the abilities when he transformed. But now I activate the bound effect more or actually use it and then the extra abilities. So I'll take it for what it's worth, though. It's not bad. And then doesn't Zachary have double Devi? Like I feel like, dude, some people's luck is just crazy. I'm like, man, I'm just trying to get one. I just want one, man. Let's see here. 19. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll give him a little bit more survivability here. All right, so that's pretty good though. Oh, okay. Said it's great for Tassia. Oh, that's right. I have Tassia too now. So the reason why I haven't swapped off of my Zelasi for certain things yet is because I just got Tassia and I need to build her. But shout out to you because you're the reason why I know Tassia is really as good as she is. Because your account, yo, I'm telling you, when I was trying to help you do like what was it that we were trying to do? Sakael and I think it was like Althar and all the boss dungeons trying to push them. Dude, she would be hanging on by a thread and just doing, she has so much value. Like, she's such a good unit. Like, I was like, dude, this character is crazy. And that was like, you know, I was still trying to like get accustomed to the game. And yeah, your Brandis was crazy. Because even for her to be fighting something that technically was penalizing her for burning it, she was popping off, which was crazy to me. I was like, dude, yeah, your Brandis is crazy too. But I can only imagine what your account looks like now from then. So, you know, yeah, that was like such a fun learning experience for me personally. Let's see. So, okay, so we got beat boss. We got 3 hours till reset. Okay, so we're in a pretty good spot. We just got to beat chapter 6. I probably will finish. I'll probably be almost out of hard mode by tonight. Which in 7 days getting to insane is pretty good. He said, I'm stop summoning after this event. Dude, honestly, you just gotta make a choice, bro. Like I'm gonna use my account's gonna be a perfect example because on my my other progression, I don't know if you've seen that one either, Lonzo. I had to go all the way to pity. It took me a full 2 weeks to get to that 60 pity. And I got Raziel, which was not a bad legendary to get. It's still a pretty solid damage dealer. But up until that point, dude, Danos Confar. It was just rare epics going ham for me. So yeah, I mean the other play, which I know some people are probably going to do, is they're going to start save. They're starting to save now for the next like chase event that might be coming up. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get maybe a gap or something or a break. I don't know, because we've only had one chase. Oh, they are destroying me. I probably need to look at my team to see what's going on, because unless I didn't look at the CP, yeah, he's just absolutely melted me. Was he 13? I thought sorry I looked at it, it said 13K. Oh, we love that. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what we got going on here. There's more consistent hills. We like that. We like that. That was cool. Okay. Okay. Oh, and then he has is that Galiad or whatever his name is? Yeah, this guy, he shuts down passives, and he's through and through a PvP unit. He be what does he have? It's oh, dude, it's passives and something else he shuts down on a character. So yeah, he's a pain because that team was pretty normal except for him. Yeah, so that's a little problematic. This guy, okay, you got an Hysteria and okay. He said Scion and the Goat Foric cooking. Dude, it's a good unit, and he's free too. So you can, like, that's gonna be the nice thing. I'm kind of interested in how that's gonna work if you're getting drops with the exchange shop, because it's just gonna let you get currency to be able to trade in for skill up materials and stuff like that. All right, and 13 here. 6. I keep forgetting to give Foric his Titan. Yeah, we basically win this one. All right. Yeah, and I gotta burn these two. Okay, we're in bronze. Let's go. So that they're regenning. We're at 14, so we're almost there. Might as well just burn them. Reset is in 3 hours. It happens at 8 my time, so that's 3 hours from now. So still a good amount of time before daily stuff resets. Oh, that reminds me, because I usually, okay, I did finish it. I usually try to do my daily, like between these two accounts, because I'm grinding 2 accounts pretty hard right now. My daily and my bonus quests are like, they're like must do's every day. Like there's way too much value you get from that. And like the bonus quest gives you 200 stamina a day, and that adds up to be about 1,400 stamina a week. And so, yeah, if you're missing that, that's just a no-go, you know? You absolutely want that. You absolutely want that. Let me change up my defense, too, because I forgot I leveled up my, oh, that's another reason, too. Okay, so we'll do this. Give her this here. Take that off. Give you that. And then, boom. 22. There we go. Save arena defense. All right, there we go. So that should be a little bit better now. Let's actually test it out here. Cool. Take that off. Go here. Take that off. Go here and here. All right, and then that should save it. But yeah, I'll be on my day 7. I will get Orisa. So she's definitely getting built. Might as well run double sustain and then my damage dealers, because I don't have I think I do have a water tank, but might as well just go ahead and build her out, because I know people are going to want to see her for early game. Oh my god. Like, okay, I started dotting them. Nah, they just have the upper hand here. It's just pure investment at this point. Who is that? Oh, that's forward. Forward over here. He's about to try a 1v4. What's going on? That's crazy. They melted everybody, and then Forward is just there. Okay, and he did the most damage, which is crazy to me. I really wish I could get him on my main account because I would definitely try to do a damage build forward just to see how hard he could actually hit. Because it looks like they made him to be like a hybrid DPS healer, shield, or really DPS shielder, because he can't heal. But let's see. He says Alyssa a fraud. I don't really know. For PvP, like units vary so much in PvP. That's like a whole nother thing because it's it's units. You know, outright, like depending on the elo you're in, some people aren't even procking their titans. So then it is just the units in their builds. That also is a matter of like investment, skill up investment, and stuff like that too. Yeah, he's I don't know. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, taunt tanks are just so ridiculous in PvP. I do think the devs, like I always say it, I think they love their tanks because the tanks be going crazy. There's actually some tanks in the game that do crazy damage on certain things too. Like let's see here. Okay, good fight, good fight. We're just trying to burn these down. So all right, we're at 11. So we just don't have a whole bunch. Okay, refresh. Dude, I went to the dentist yesterday. Like, I love the dentist, dude. Like, they always hook your boy up. Okay, at least I can have comfort in the fact that they're. Oh, you taunted me. Oh, our RU is done. Stop him. Nope, never mind. We couldn't stop him from invoking. He says sometimes these fights they need to add a speed up. Yeah, they probably will add stuff like that at some point. Cause yeah, yeah. Arita, some fights get a little crazy. That or maybe I know what some games will do is they'll add like those penalty modifiers, so like, it just ends the fight quicker. You know, if you're in there a little too long. Because I'm actually interested now in within the higher elo if there's any if people actually have had fights where they just had a stalemate. Because we used to have that issue in Dislight. That used to be so crazy. Like where you would be so much in a stalemate where the fight would actually never end. That was an interesting time. All right, there we go. So this thieving, he said thieving, and we're gonna discuss of Celista is a fraud and they are placed too high in the ranking. We all know Danos is the GOAT. That's MJ. Dude, so here's the difference between them. Like this game, when you think about like how a character is actually applied to a fight versus on paper, right? There is a little bit of a window of time because like when Celista hits things, um, it takes time for it to get to things, but it always locks on and it's gonna hit whoever is gonna hit whatever whatever it's targeting. You can like whiff a Danos ult, for example. Like it is possible. Like you just straight whiff it, right? But depending on how you look at those two things, and then the investment you have on them, it really at the end of the day, their damage is pretty comparable, but just from different points of their kit. So, like, for example, one character could have more damage coming out of their skill one, but the other one has they basically are pretty close in damage, but the others damage comes out of their skill 3. Like it's like that, and then their combos attacks with the right setups, same gear might be similar, right? Like so it really just all depends on how much investment you have in the character comparatively to another character. That does make a difference. You said I've only had one stalemate at 2800 elo. Said it was an Aspro standoff. That just sounds annoying. You said Dislike has some potential. Sad how it fell off. Yeah, it did. No, it definitely did. I mean, that's the thing too. I genuinely think like the concept to come, like even the roadmap, all the stuff that this game is seeming to offer. I'm excited for a lot of it. To be fair, like I really am. Okay, so I think we're in a pretty good spot. I just got to finish chapter 6 and save books here. Might do her basically because she's at 3.1k, and I think that was Fulric will probably I'll consider books and him. And then the next quest is 10, so this is just gonna be my auto grind, crushing, memoriam, cell, ascension. So I have to go into my auto grind because I need EXP. But we can maybe level somebody anyway, so we'll do this. Let's see if I have enough EXP. I do. All right, so that's one of the 4 stars I need to do, and then I need to do one more. We'll do her. Oh, I don't have any. Okay, yeah, so we'll build up the uncommons. All right, and then that is that. Okay, so we'll wait. The next 4 star will be her. All right, and then yeah, we just got to do our auto battle. So yeah, that's probably where we'll stop for right now. I'll push that. Tyrannus Chase, we got 30 crowns. So I think all I'm gonna get really, I could go and just get a good chunk of rare codexes, but I might just go ahead and get I might just do the legendary codex and then get the Wonder Orb or Destiny Star. I might do the Destiny Star. Not sure yet. Yeah, but I think I might do the legendary and just call it a day. If I get another crown, it might be possible. I might be pushing something else. Yeah, so Invoker Summon Surge, I'm probably going to hit before the event is up. And then Ulgrim Relic, probably will hit that too because I'm only like 1.6k points away. Okay, yeah, so that looks feasible. Okay. Yeah, so we're in a pretty good spot. Going into day 7, I might do a video for day 7. Maybe not, though. It may actually be after that. It might be after that. So I'll do probably a first week recap at the end of day 7. So do expect that video because I'll probably mention some of the information. If you guys came a little later, I'll talk about some of the stuff I talked about earlier that's kind of important. At least for those of you guys that were here, you can see how impactful leveling your Titan can be. Granted, you're not going to be able to like full send, them every single time you star them up and stuff like that. But at least right now, like I think I have some copies. Like if I was doing this one, I could actually level it, but we'll wait. We'll hold off on that for right now. So that is that. But all right, guys, we're going to call it quits here. We'll be back probably, what is tomorrow? Thursday. I actually have an engagement that I have to go to tomorrow. So we'll be back on Friday. So yeah, we'll be back Friday. That'll be our next stream. But I will have some videos. So we'll be back Friday. That'll be 9, 10. That'll be day 9, I think. Right? So yeah, that'll put us at day 9. And we'll be going into our second week. So yeah, should be pretty good stuff. But either way, if you guys have any questions, make sure you join the official Discord. Me, Waffles, and a whole bunch of others are in there that are willing to help you. You can join my Discord as well. Those things are all linked in the pin comment and in the description. If you're here for the first time, make sure you guys subscribe. I would appreciate that. If you're on the Twitch side, appreciate you guys for being over there. Just, give your boy a follow. Try to make sure we have these regular streams. Maybe might convince Waffles to get on stream at some point. But either way, guys, that's going to be that with this one, man. Everyone, take it easy. Have an amazing day. And stay safe out there. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys. Peace.